And stream across the river San. This was part of the river line which the invading army forced in its flanking drive through southern Poland. The Nazi Führer makes a quick tour in the conquered nation among the soldiers in captured towns. In the city of Lodz and on top of the car, guards with drawn pistols. In a cloud of dust, and then through the clouds of the sky, by plane, Hitler flies to survey what he has done, the destruction of a nation. Poland divided between the Nazi Germans and the Soviets. He has an air view of the devastation that he decreed. A bombarded Polish flying field. Good view of what attack from the sky achieved. The flying field pitted with bomb craters. Hitler seeks to identify himself with the army. He refers to himself as a soldier in active service. And here he stops and has a bite with the troops. He's described as a vegetarian, and maybe he gets a lettuce sandwich as he fraternizes with the fighting men at an army canteen in prostrate Poland. Fraternizing by signing autographs. There's a rush of soldiers, hundreds want autographs, and they crowd around. There are too many to sign for them all. Enough is enough. A scene in the tragedy of Poland. Destruction from the sky hit far and wide. Railroad centers bombed like that one. Polish communications were swiftly disrupted by the air raiding. How the bombs rained down is shown by the shell craters. An armored train blasted, devastation where devastation counted most. Poland never really did get mobilized. The Blitzkrieg swept through like lightning. Poland.Partition. The German commander-in-chief, General von Brauchitsch, congratulates soldiers who distinguished themselves on the Vistula front, the general who directed the strategy of the Lightning War. Berlin, the funeral of General von Fritsch, former German army commander whose death reported in battle brought speculation and mystery. That's Field Marshal von Mackensen, the old Prussian army man who gives military, not Nazi salutes. At the front, Germans and Russians meet. Poland defeated. The Soviets push in to seize a share. Here at the fortress of Brest-Litovsk, the German and Red Army commanders formulate an agreement. And there's a proclamation. The Nazi communist arrangement of such fateful meaning, the existence of a nation signed away. Then the German and Soviet commanders hold a joint review. Nazi war equipment passes. German and Soviet war leaders in collaboration. Soldiers of the Red Army watching, and this amazed the world. A unified military demonstration. A Soviet tank. The Hitler-Stalin non-aggression pact has led to the partition of Poland. Danzig, Hitler in the city, the dispute over which led to the European war. This Nazi demonstration was staged the day before Hitler flew back to Berlin and made his latest speech suggesting peace, which Great Britain and France reject. Hitler faced with the prospect of a long, relentless war. In Poland, the battle is over amid scenes of destruction. British and French could give no aid. The focus of war moves to the Western Front. The German command can shift the conquering army, the Blitzkrieg machine, 1 million men to face the armies of the Allies. So the columns are streaming westward. Soldiers who have been marching and fighting afar get newspapers from home. They hope that peace will come soon, but there is no news of peace. The war still goes on. They've won a swift, overwhelming victory in Poland, but the battle to come will be harder. Next stop, the Western Front. Siege of the doomed capital of Poland, the city under bombardment. Blasted and burning for 3 weeks, one of the bravest defenses in history. The hopeless resistance of devastated Warsaw. Hitler visits the besieging army during his tour in conquered Poland, which is subjugated and partitioned. The defending army shattered by the lightning strokes of the Blitzkrieg, the Nazi Führer has the air of a conqueror as he surveys the artillery bombardment of Warsaw, which still resists, but cannot resist much longer, a capital city wrapped in flame and horror. Thus, he meets the German commander. The defenders of Warsaw hoped to get aid from Great Britain and France, but the Allies on the Western Front were powerless to save them. German General Blaskowitz receives the surrender of Warsaw from the Polish emissary representing the garrison. The stern-faced commander of the besieging army lays down the terms, illustrated on a map for the Polish officer to see. This is an historic picture document of the entrance of the invading army at dusk. This marks the end of the war in Poland. The Germans in Warsaw, there in front of the old historic cathedral. Prisoners of war, more than 100,000 of them captured when the city fell. Elsewhere in Poland, the Germans took myriads of prisoners, and the interminable lines trudging along symbolize the swift destruction of a nation, the tragedy of Poland.